Captain's Log number 738. Today I was watering my imaginary petunias while my imaginary dog ate my imaginary homework. Oh! So I got so frustrated I decided to just sit down and watch Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse. Let me tell you about it.
Lost in space, an alien race, trapped in orbit with no escape, watching films from Earth's display, passing time from day to day. Stuck in orbit, what can I do? A movie marathon will have to do. From drama to horror and comedy too, an alien cinema will break through.
So today I watched Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse, and I gotta say it was pretty good. I really liked the first one that came out a couple years ago, so I decided let's give this one a chance. Let's watch it and see what's happening here. Right away, this is probably the most beautiful movie I've ever seen. It's got a very interesting aesthetic, and they really commit to it. I really like the multimedia type of approach to this, with the live action, stop motion, Legos, and 3D animation, 2D animation, and different styles of animation throughout different periods of time. It really, it makes the entire movie super interesting to watch, very entertaining, to watch all of these different characters from different time periods and different mediums and different cultures all interact with each other in different ways, and it just creates funny and interesting scenarios. But that's kind of where my praise ends a little bit, because there's some issues going on here, and the biggest issue is I don't know if this is actually a movie. It only had 2 acts. It had a beginning and a middle, but it had no end. A lot of people might say, oh, well, there's a really big cliffhanger at the end of this movie. I disagree completely. There is no cliffhanger at the end of this movie. The movie just doesn't end. It just cuts off right after the second act. We're getting ready to get into the third act, and no ending. Which makes me curious as to what is the next movie going to be. Is the whole movie going to be a third act? And also, an issue with this is that this movie is more than 2 hours long, which really today it's not that long for a movie, but it's 2 acts, so it's 2 really long acts. So I found myself just checking my watch, trying to see, how much time is left of this movie, because we're spending a lot of time on this part of the movie when we really should be wrapping things up. But I think the biggest issue is the story that they want to tell for this movie is not a story that should be told in a movie. Basically, what I'm saying is this would be a really good Netflix series, because this would make a really good, 8-episode thing where you can just binge watch the whole thing. Because the story that they're trying to tell here cannot be told in a 2-hour time frame. It needs 4-5 hours at least, which is exactly what they're trying to do by splitting it up into 2 movies. But the problem is that this movie never ends. And we don't know when the next movie is going to be out. I haven't heard anything. When is the next movie going to come out? Is it going to be 1 year? Is it going to be 2 years? Is it going to be 5 years like this one? It's been 5 years since the last Spider-Verse movie. And so are we going to wait another 5 years to finish this story? By that point, does anybody even care what happens? That's what I say, this needed to be told on some sort of streaming platform where we can binge watch the whole thing. You can't just not end a movie like this. It's not okay. That being said, I really did enjoy the movie still. It's a really good time. It's a slow burner, for sure, because it kind of creeps through the first 2 acts, but it never gets to the third act, as I said before. But anyways, it is still entertaining to watch, and just look at it. It's just it's colorful, it's exciting, and it just, the things that happen in this movie, I never thought I would ever see in a movie, and it's one of the best multiverse movies of all time. It really explores the concept of multiverse in a way that really makes sense. And it's not difficult to understand. even if you didn't watch the first one. So, anyways, I would give this movie like a 7 out of 10, okay? And so, if they ended the movie, it would have been a 9 out of 10, easy, 9 or 10 out of 10. But no, they decided not to end it, and that really, like, it really bugs me. It really irks me. So, I would say 7 out of 10, definitely. Now I can get back to doing my imaginary homework, and hopefully my imaginary dog doesn't eat it this time. Alright. Now, I guess that's a captain's log out.